my punishment video. As you can tell from my t-shirt and my posters and the calendar that I've made us have in our kitchen for the past 12 months, I like 5 Seconds of Summer a lot. They are in fact my favourite band. And George, Maria and Emma, because they're so lovely, have decided that my punishment for missing a video is to do a review of 5 Seconds of Summer's hit album, Sounds Good Feels Good. But I am only allowed to say negative things. It's gonna be tough. None of the views expressed in this video reflect the views of Lissy Wood or her partners or affiliates. So the album kicks off with Money. Really, there's some weird talking bit at the beginning. It's really quiet. You don't really know if the album started. And it's quite disconcerting. It's especially disconcerting when then the song itself actually kicks in and you just get this loud shout, and it can cause a slight heart attack if you're of a nervous disposition. It encourages irresponsible drinking to their young fans. As we all know, the target age, well, the general fan age of a 5 Seconds of Summer fan is a 14-year-old. Clearly shouldn't be drinking to the point where someone needs to take their money and take their keys. So it is irresponsible of 5 Sauce to encourage this manner of underage drinking. Track 2 is She's Kinda Hot. The headline for this track is that it is sexist. How can we refer to a woman as being kinda hot? Is she completely determined by her sexiness? Surely there's more to this girl than the fact that she's kinda hot. There's weird talky ad-libs that Ashton slipped in there, talking about how she's just a little bit hot. It's not a grammatically correct sentence. But as we learned today, Ashton Owen can't actually spell the word musician, so his grasp of the English language is probably can be called into question, really. And there is a guitar solo about 2/3 of the way through the song, which is not a guitar solo. Track number 3 is Hey Everybody, which many people have described as a blatant rip-off of Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. Let's not mention the fact that Duran Duran do actually have a writing credit on that song. Oh is lazy songwriting, and the boys could have come up with better lyrics to fill that bar of music. Furthermore, they became famous when they were 15 years old. Since they were children, they have been rock stars. They have never experienced not having their rent on the first of the month. Track number 4 is Permanent Vacation. It is described by some people as entirely forgettable. The next track on the album is the emotional highlight, I would argue, Jet Black Heart, described by many people as dirge-like. Some have said, the verses don't match with the chorus, and one critic said, Michael needs to man up and get over his wussy little broken heart. Next is Catch Fire. The intro sets up something exciting, but it drops as soon as the lyrics come in. It's not enough like the similarly named Hunger Games book, and the cliched lyrics are a disappointment. For example, I can't change the world, but maybe I'll change your mind. The verses are monotonous and could basically be described as white noise. It feels too long. Next up, we've got Waste the Night. Wasting the night is a bad message for 5 Seconds of Summer to be giving to their young fans. The kids should be taking advantage of all of the hours of night that they have. This song should be closer to the great Australian musicians such as the Wiggles, who clearly have set a precedent for Australian music that 5 Seconds of Summer will just never reach. It uses the same line over and over again. It's repetitive. The album version doesn't live up to the live version, in which Luke Hemming's vocals soar and are beautiful and perfect, whereas on the album version, his vocals are not quite as good. Not quite as good. There are only 57 different words in the whole song. Once again, to echo my previous point, it's very repetitive. Waste the Night is followed by an unnecessary interlude. A long period of silence adds nothing to the song, followed by an unrelated and overly artsy interlude that could have been removed without compromising what little structural integrity the song as a whole maintained. Up next we've got Vapor. The main grievance here is that Vapor has been spelt the American way, with no U. There's no need to repeat each line-ending word 3 times. It sounds a little bit like they're in pain, and it encourages marijuana use, which again is irresponsible for their young fans. They should be locked up like the common criminals they are, something which is inevitable as they do hail from famous convict colony, Australia. The next track up is Castaway. Once again, the album version of the track doesn't live up to its live counterpart. In playing the song live, guitarists Luke Hemmings and Michael Clifford kind of go from the acoustic singer-songwritery mellowness of Castaway into a raw, angry guitar solo battle, which is freaking amazing. Fingers are moving so fast, the really good guitarists. You don't get that on the album, you just get mopey things about casting away. We've got Fly Away. At this point I would say 2 Away songs in a row. Really? Where's your originality, guys? Not to mention, the na 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 refrain is just lazy songwriting. On top of that, you're just naming a bunch of places to make fans from those places feel happy. It's blatant fan serving and it's pandering to the lowest common denominator. But it's not as bad in that respect as previous 5 seconds of summer songs, Mrs. All American and English Love Affair, clearly written to make American and English fans feel like they have a chance with the boys. Next up is Invisible. Quite frankly, I wish it were called Inaudible. It's a blatant riff-off of Taylor Swift's song of the same name, itself the less good cousin of The Other Side of the Door. The violin-y bit is dull, hiring an orchestra to play the instruments for them is lazy, and symptomatic of an underlying lack of work ethic among the band's members. They should have just learnt violin. At 20 and 21 years old, they should have just picked up a violin and learnt it for 3 bars on 1 song. The next track's called Airplanes. Let's first point out, the flying things are not called airplanes, they're in fact called aeroplanes. There's already been a song about flying away on this album. Are they running out of ideas? I sense a breakup on the horizon. So poorly played, the time signature is undiscernible. Plus you can't even waltz properly to it. So maybe it's in 3/4, maybe it's in 6/8, but the point is, it's too fast for a waltz. The penultimate track on the album is San Francisco. At this point, my main thoughts were, thank God there are only 2 songs left. And then after that I thought, naming more cities? Really? Once again, we're pandering to the lowest common denominator here, aren't we, boys? Mountains crumbling into the sea is such a cliche. If you want that, listen to Stand By Me. It's obviously started to run out of album-leaving material and shoved all this shit at the end. Don't God is poor grammar. Maybe Ashton, or the whole band, if you can call them a band, should give up music and go back to school. As we're well aware, 3/4 of the band did not in fact finish school. But recent evidence such as the misspelling of musician, using seen when he means saw, and various other things, would suggest to me that Ashton Owen, the only member of the band who finished school, does in fact have the worst grasp of the English language. After that there is an unnecessary interlude, it sounds very generic. Wouldn't be surprised to hear this over one of Zoella's blogs, probably one where she's talking about what a nice day she's had and having a picnic. The last track on the album, Outer Space Into Carry On, comes in 2 parts. First part, Outer Space, second part, Carry On. Oh, 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 again is how the song opens. Clearly couldn't think of any part of the first verse, couldn't decide on any lyrics. Was this album rushed? Maybe there was a want to get it out before the imminent breakup. It's in 3/4 time again, yet still no good for waltzing. Try a real waltz, like Mozart's Waltz in A minor. Calum Hood guesses he was running for something. He should know what he's running for. There are too many harmonies. They're a boy band, not a choir. They probably don't actually know anyone who's been into space. At the end of Outer Space, it all just devolves into white noise that goes on for too long. The organ's dumb. I'd rather listen to the tinnitus that this album gave me. And as we go into Carry On, my prevailing thought was, if this album is anything to judge by, it's not going to get better. Actually, anything would be better. So sorry, I don't mean any of that. Michael, I know someone hurt you, and I will fix your jet black heart, Mike. I'll do it.